Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. I don't know. I don't know if that's actually how it goes. I think it is. But what me and Ethan are doing here today for y'all boys is reacting to the dumbest ways people have died. The dumbest ways.
That's a 930 innocent man.
Why is it? What's loading?
Hey guys, it's Chris. From the guy who died after getting stuck in a dinosaur statue to the chef who fell into a vat of soup and cooked himself to death. Here are 10 of the craziest and dumbest ways people have actually died.
You know, man. He never died.
Number 10, the last selfie. An unfortunate teenager spent her final moments trying to take a selfie on the top of a railway bridge in St. Petersburg, Russia. Before she could get the picture, she plunged 30 feet to her death. The teen's name was Xenia Ignatieva, and she was only 17 years young when she climbed onto the railway bridge with one goal: to take the ultimate selfie. But as she was setting herself up for the dramatic picture, Xenia fell to her death. She may have survived the 30-foot drop if she hadn't tried to save herself by desperately grabbing a hold of a live wire. The wire shot 1,500 volts through her body, essentially igniting her from the inside out.
Jeez.
And this is tragic for all the obvious reasons and a few more. Xenia had purchased an expensive camera at the end of her summer job and was keen on becoming a professional photographer. It was her big passion in life. And unfortunately, her passion ultimately led to her death in a brazen attempt to get a risky selfie.
I'm just falling 30 feet when you die from it.
She also had a friend waiting down below that witnessed.
What'd you say?
So imagine falling 30 feet. Like, just imagine falling from any height. Like, oh my god, it'd be the scariest thing ever.
Like if you're free falling from any distance that's like a height you didn't want to fall from, you know?
You're just like, alright, well, this is it, I guess. Imagine, like, you have more than 5 seconds to think. Like, what are you thinking? Gosh, it's so scary. I can't even hardly jump off of a 10-foot diving board over the water. That freaks me out. I can't even imagine.
What'd you say?
So I can't even jump off of a 10-foot diving board without freaking out. So I don't. Like,
yeah, no kidding.
Sketchy, dude.
That's hilarious. This is a fun fact. I talked to a Russian girl named Xenia once.
It was low-key a dude.
It was, probably was. Play, prick.
The entire incident. Her friend was absolutely mortified and will most likely never recover from seeing her best pal die right in front of her eyes.
You're
Martin
kidding.
Voigt, a psychologist from Munich.
Alright, we get it. She died. Let's go.
We need to look at the deeper meaning of photos taken on railway tracks. The photo is not so much about the theme of it, but the fees are extreme. Amusement park disaster. A boy is dead after the worst amusement park ride ever. The accident happened at Adventureland Park in Iowa on a ride called the Raging River. And on that day that river was raging all right. A boat on the ride overturned with 6 passengers on it in such a dramatic crash that 3 of the passengers had to be rushed to hospital in near-death condition, while an 11-year-old boy named Michael Jaramillo was pronounced dead on sight from injuries he sustained. It must be embarrassing to take your kids to an amusement park only to have one of them die when your boat flips over.
Embarrassing is a crazy word to use there.
The ride had been inspected the day before and was found to be in perfect working condition. Nobody knows why the accident occurred. But it wasn't even the first fatality at this park.
This is something that would happen to one of our families on a fun trip.
No, you know what this is? This is something that would happen to me, and you guys are like, why are you so scared to get on the ride? And I'm right, because the rides are scary.
He'd been helping guests get out of the rafts.
Every single time Tower of Terror at Disney, every time it went up and down, you flew out of the seat. Every time it went up and down.
Yeah, your hemorrhoids popped off the seat for a second. That was scary.
The end when he somehow tripped.
And yesterday's lunch would slowly rise through your throat.
What happened to this freak?
Park employee had died just a little while earlier on the exact same ride. Only he'd been helping guests get out of the rafts at the end when he somehow tripped and fell into the conveyor belt, cracking open his skull and dying 4 days later from a major brain injury. We think maybe it's time for this ride to be shut down. Number 8.
Really?
No kidding. It's taking lives left and right.
A 39-year-old man that had been missing has recently been found dead inside the statue of a dinosaur in Spain. Prepare to be wowed because this has got to be one of the dumbest ways anyone has ever died. Out of respect for the family, the man has not been named, but the authorities have still given out most of the juicy details about his bizarre death. So here's what happened. The guy dropped his phone inside the hollow leg of a huge Stegosaurus statue in Barcelona. He was most likely climbing on the statue, or maybe his phone slipped under the dino's foot. We're a little fuzzy on those exact details. But the guy, who was by himself, obviously wanted his phone back, so he wriggled his way inside of the hollow statue. But it was easier getting in than getting out. Not only could he not reach his cell phone to call for help, but he couldn't get himself out of the leg. He ended up suffocating and dying inside the Stegosaurus. He was only discovered later because a father and son were walking by and happened to smell the overpowering stench of a decaying body.
That's crazy.
Firefighters had to cut the statue open to remove the smelly body.
Imagine being a
The
grown
statue has
man and
since
dying
been
on the side of a
removed from its
statue.
place outside the Cubic building in Barcelona.
It's like he died in the dinosaur statue, which is bad enough, and he died trying to get his phone. It's just like such like a thing you want, you know? It's like not something you need.
It's like dropping your pack of gum on a railroad track and the train's coming. You're like, oh, let me go get it.
I need that. I need my cigarettes. I need my
My breath is pretty bad. I'm gonna go get those actually. It's like, dude, come on.
Not to be insensitive, but that's why we have phone insurance, right? Why would you ever attempt something like this? Just let the phone go and get a different one. Let us know what you would do in the comment section down below, and if you're liking this video, be sure to hit the thumbs up.
I'm a little confused
Because you're
how
not really
you
expecting to die on a dinosaur leg, buddy.
How did he get? Did he get stuck or something?
Yeah, I think he got stuck like that and suffocated.
Really?
He's an athlete. He can't help it.
Yeah, no kidding. What are you, Jones? Can you not can you not move your lower half? Just
subscribe buttons if you
Hey,
haven't
what?
already. Number 7. Eaten alive by a crocodile. While taking an exotic river trip in India, a tourist from Britain found himself in quite the pickle. He was kidnapped by a hungry crocodile. The tourist's name was Ian Turton, and he was taking a river trip near Bangalore when the wild attack took place. The 497-mile-long Kaveri River runs across 3 of the southern Indian states. Ian was with a traveling companion and friend, a man named Michael Easton.
no.
I'm sorry.
Sorry,
I misheard. All right, heard you.
No, you're good. I hate when people don't take animals seriously. Like, I don't know. Because dogs, I feel like people automatically think dogs are like, oh, they won't hurt you. It's like, yeah, the dog looks rabid and is barking its friggin' head off and looks like it's about to attack. Yeah, it's not gonna hurt anybody.
That's just cupcake.
And like in Tennessee, where that freaking bear was running around, like no one took it serious. Said to me and my father, like no one was like, "Oh, it's just a bear." It's like, guys, there's a black bear outside. Like I know they're not gonna freaking, like they're not like super, like aggressive, but like,
Dude,
it's a wild animal. Like you don't know what
if a bear got mad, it would bite your head off like
exactly. It's
instantly.
like. It's just like, and that's what like I feel like that's most freaking wild animals. Like they have the ability to kill you in seconds.
And bears are fast.
Yeah, it's like, just I don't know. I hate when people don't take them serious. It's like that thing could kill us in seconds, and we're joking around about it. Like I don't know how people aren't like scared of that.
Now, on the other hand, I like bears. I like bears, and I would love to like cuddle up with one. But
cool.
But obviously you can't. But like,
well, the black bear that we saw in Tennessee, apparently people were feeding it berries out of their hand. Like that's ridiculous. Why would you ever get that close to a bear?
I don't know.
God, so stupid. It's annoying.
River in an inflatable dinghy. As you can probably imagine, an inflatable dinghy is not the best thing to be cruising down the river in, especially when there are crocodiles around.
Yeah, what is that about?
The men went missing somewhere along the river.
Huh.
Rescuers found the half-eaten body of Ian, who appeared to have tried to escape the crocodiles.
It said they were using an inflatable.
Michael's body wasn't found, but the inflatable
An inflatable dinghy.
That's like walking through thorns with socks on. So this will be good. Doesn't make any sense.
was discovered with puncture marks made by crocodile teeth.
No.
Michael is still missing, and he's assumed dead and eaten.
What do you mean? They found half of him.
Well,
Assumed dead.
another half might be out there somewhere.
He's not Darth Maul, where he gets cut in half and he still survives. Gets robot legs. He's dead.
Number 6, stuck in a cave. People just keep getting stuck in weird places. When are they gonna learn? If it looks too small for you, it probably is, and if...
By the way, Ethan, Darth Maul is the villain in the one Star Wars movie that you watched with me and Mason. The
Yeah.
guy with the double-bladed lightsaber.
Oh yeah.
That's Darth Maul. He gets cut in half, and then they bring him back to life in like a show, in the Clone Wars show, and he has robot legs.
Okay. That's
Fun fact.
I can't
If it
remember
looks
that.
too dangerous, it probably is. In Utah, a medical student and an experienced caver named John Jones, 26 years old, got trapped upside down in the famous Nutty Putty
John
Cave
Jones?
for over 28 hours. This is a popular spelunking site roughly 80 miles from Salt Lake City. John was actually the first person to die inside the cave, according to the county sheriff's office. But how exactly did John Jones get stuck in the cave? Well, he wasn't exactly a
You know
small
that's
guy, but he was
formula?
pretty big, about 6
I
feet
think
and
so.
almost 200 pounds. He got jammed in a very weird position with his head bent at an angle below his feet. He tried to stick himself somewhere his big body clearly didn't fit. And after a desperate rescue attempt, things were looking pretty grim. There was nothing anyone could do except literally watch and speak to John as he slowly died.
That's messed
with the
up.
blood rushing to his brain. And all because he thought it would be fun to crawl upside down through a cave. Nutty Putty is now closed to the public, and there's been no news of it reopening.
They were able to pull him out, but all they could manage was his ribs and his dick.
That's
Nutty
crazy.
Putty.
Yeah, that's
Number
a
5,
recipe for
death
disaster.
by a peeing contest. A woman died a few years ago during a peeing contest. Yes, a contest about peeing. At the time, it kind of seemed like a good idea. A radio station held a contest calling it Hold Your Wii for a Wii. Whoever could hold their pee the
funny.
longest was gonna win a free Nintendo Wii system.
I think I've
That
heard
was
of
a
this one.
$250 value at the time. The rules of the contest were that the contestants had to drink as much water as possible without peeing. The last person standing who hadn't peed and who had drank the most water would win. Well, it turned out to be a pretty terrible idea. Jennifer Strange was 28 years old when she entered the competition. Her kids loved video games and she wanted to win the prize for
Oh
them.
yeah, I had
But
heard
she
this.
puked, was disqualified, and went back home. I guess during the contest, Jennifer was complaining of stomach pains, and the host chuckled and said, "Is anyone dying in there?" 6 hours later, she dropped dead in her home.
Jeez.
Apparently, she had suffered water intoxication. This is
Jeez.
almost like alcohol intoxication, but kind of way worse. It happens when too much water enters the blood and dilutes
she drink
the
a truckload of
electrolytes and
water?
sodium.
Huh?
Did she drink a truckload of water? How do you? That's
There's
crazy.
no way it's worse than alcohol. There's no way it's worse than alcohol, like this guy said. He's like, it's kind of like it, but it's kind of worse. It's not. There's no way it's not. There's no way it is, sorry.
It's crazy.
Resulting in a shutdown of brain function and immediate death. After the incident,
Jeez.
the radio station was ordered to pay over $16 million in damages to the family. The radio station could also lose its license altogether. 2 media watchdog groups are challenging the license renewal of the station too. They were seen as
Crazy.
liable for the young mother's strange demise. Number 4, too funny for life. A Greek philosopher was so funny that he died laughing at his own joke. The philosopher, named Chrysippus, was 73 years old at the time of his death. He was born in ancient Turkey and moved to Athens to become a scholar. He lived a long and prosperous life, making a joke so funny that he literally laughed himself into the grave. And are you ready for the joke? Here's what happened. The philosopher saw a donkey eating his figs while at a feast. The philosopher said, "Now give that donkey a pure wine to wash down the figs." So I'm not really sure why that's so funny, but it was so hilarious to him that he laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed. He laughed so
He
hard
fell
that he hit
backwards
the
on
floor
the
and began to
chair.
shake and foam at the mouth. By the time people rushed to his aid, he was already dead. So this may or may not have actually happened. There are historical records of the event, but nobody knows for sure what happened back in 200 BC, because that's over 2,000 years ago. What we do know is that death by laughter is a real thing. Laughing too hard can cause a heart attack, loss of consciousness, or even unexpected asphyxiation. So I guess
Can you
jokes aren't really
remember any time that you've felt like you've been on the brink of dying because of you've been laughing so hard?
There's honestly, that's just probably the way I want to go out, because there's never been a time where I've been like laughing too much, where it's like I mean, it's like, oh, I can't stop laughing, but then it's like, if I died this way, I wouldn't be that mad. But
Yeah.
maybe when, not dying, but when Johnny attempted to tackle on Gabe when they got in that fight, that was pretty freaking funny. And he got up, cussing him out. It's like, Johnny, Okay, so let me get this straight, Johnny. You're cussing him out. You just tried to tackle him and you missed. You're cussing him out because you missed the tackle. And also, you threw the first attack. And you challenged the fight. Like, what?
I think I guess this is on the Johnny topic. I think one time I was cracking up because when we would drive to IHOP or Cracker Barrel, wherever after the football games, and you do the dead animal thing in the road. You'd
Where's my
swerve
hair?
the car.
Sorry, why does my hair look like this and I never wear a headset? Oh, is it the thing back there? All right, whatever. Go ahead.
And I remember Johnny being in the very back seat. And I remember looking back when you swerved, and I saw his body, he was in a whole tuck and roll position, and his body just did a friggin'. It was so funny.
Ryder has a video of it on Snapchat of me doing that, and he goes, "Ow!" It's so funny.
It's so funny.
It's
hilarious.
so funny.
Man, you guys bullied him, dude. People who
He
say
raised
that,
Johnny.
Exactly. We took Johnny to prom, bought his prom ticket, but I don't even know how much food for him. Took him everywhere. I don't even understand. But because we made 1 or 2 jokes to him, it's bullying. Okay, gotcha. Then we bullied each other too, then didn't we?
Yeah, crazy.
Now, huh? Number
Get the
3,
dang
death
skulls
by
off there.
orange peel. Bobby
He
Leach
did a
was so
transition from a
funny,
skull to
or
a skull.
even
Watch it.
unexpected asphyxiation. So I guess jokes aren't really so funny now, huh? Number 3, death by orange peel. Bobby Leach was born in 1858
Bobby.
and was the ultimate daredevil. He was the second person to ever go over Niagara Falls inside of a barrel in 1911. But no, this wasn't the dumb thing that killed him. He did spend 6 months in hospital recovering from injuries, including broken kneecaps and a fractured jaw. But he lived all the way to an old age.
What a strange group of
returned
things to
Niagara
break.
Falls 10 years after his fateful barrel plunge and tried to swim through the
It's like breaking your ribs and your.
at the bottom. He failed to make it all the way through, though. However,
He
that
survived.
didn't
He was
kill
only
him
ribs and
either.
dick.
What killed Bobby Leach was an ordinary orange peel. After a lifetime of daredevil stunts, Bobby went to New Zealand on a publicity tour when he stepped on an orange peel, slipped, and fell on his back and injured his leg. The injury became extremely infected. It got gangrenous,
Wow.
and doctors
Yeah,
had to
whatever
cut
that
the
is
whole
off the
leg
screen.
off. 2 short months later, Bobby died from complications. Everyone was pretty shocked, to say the least. After all of those harrowing stunts, it was a slippery orange peel that
That's
finally
crazy.
did him in.
That's weird since they're not
Number
slippery.
2, impaled by reusable straw. A woman in England has been killed by a reusable metal straw. Yes, as ridiculous as that sounds,
Always
it's
the
100%
British.
true. Her name was Elena Struthers Gardner. She was 60 years old, and she was walking with an ordinary drinking glass which contained a short stainless steel metal drinking straw.
What are they drinking there? Swamp water? What is that?
I don't know. Last night's piss. I don't
Oh,
know.
that's just toilet water. That's all it is.
It's important to note that Elena suffered from scoliosis, meaning her spine was curved unnaturally. And this made her clumsy and very prone to falling. When she fell, she was carrying the glass. And when she hit the ground, the metal straw impaled her through the eyeball. She
Oh
must
my
have breathed
gosh.
In such a way that the straw hit the ground and became rigid,
Oh,
turning it into a deadly spike. It stuck through her eye and into her brain, causing an injury that proved immediately fatal.
oh,
She didn't even know what happened. It was a complete freak accident. The straw went through her eye, into her brain, and she was dead in a second.
That'd be a scary thing
What's
to
really
walk in on
ironic
and
about
find.
This story is that plastic straws have been
Okay.
outlawed in most countries because of their danger to the environment.
Okay.
And a lot of people are replacing them with reusable.
The straws are not that big a deal. Okay, the paper straw is the dumbest thing ever. The straws, really? That's what we're the most concerned about, really. Meanwhile, over here in
Most
India,
countries,
they've got
because of
poop
their
water.
danger-
Like, what is this? Like, are we serious? Sure, it's not the 8-foot strand of toilet paper and the nose spray and the unopened jar of marinara. It's like,
to the environment, and a lot of people are replacing them with reusable metal ones.
I will say
But now
paper
it
straws
seems
are
that metal-
so frustrating sometimes.
paper straws are
take-
the dumbest thing ever.
Cause you take one drink and then you're sipping through wet paper.
Seriously.
It's like you're not.
Hold
It's
on a
annoying.
sec, I'm looking for something. Unless it ain't, unless it's this big a one.
True.
are a hazard to people since you know they can impale your brain. Maybe we should just get rid of straws altogether? I don't know, what do you think? Number 1, fallen in a vat of soup. In Iraq, a chef cooked himself to death. Yep, it's a little ironic. The incident happened while a man was preparing for a large wedding feast. He had a giant vat filled with chicken soup. He was standing over the soup, stirring it with his ladle, and he didn't have a care in the world. He's a chef after all, cooking is his whole life. But then he slipped, fell into his very own soup, and cooked himself all the way to death. Of course, he didn't
Is it
die
cooking in a
immediately.
pool, or
He
how
was
did he
rescued from
manage
the
to
vat
fall
range.
inside of it like that?
It must have been the size of a U-Haul.
Or was
A
he
terrified
top heavy?
wedding
Or
guest. But he wouldn't survive for long. 70% of his body was covered in third-degree burns.
Oh my
He may as
gosh.
well have been trapped inside
it
of a
was.
burning building. After 5 days of suffering in the hospital, the chef succumbed to his injuries and passed away quietly. He left behind 3 children, one of them being a 6-month-old baby.
oh, that's horrible.
As for whether the wedding guests still ate the soup, we can only hope they didn't.
That's
Thanks
crazy.
for watching. What do you
Okay,
That's wild.
interesting. Did you see Jaden Daniels' injury last night?
That was disgusting.
That was bad.
That's the
I
worst one
can't-
I've seen in a while.
It's why you can't catch yourself when you fall, man. You just gotta fall sometimes. But in his defense, like, I don't know, that was bad.
At least it wasn't his throwing arm, right?
No, it wasn't.
That's good, at least. If that was his throwing arm, he would have been done for.
Those Commanders/Redskins quarterbacks, man, they're really good and young, and like RG3.
They all get injured.
Sucks. It sucks. What's weird about it, like it's extra weird, is they wore some Redskins style uniforms last night. Did you see that? They're not like the usual ones. They were supposed to look like the old ones, but they were Commanders, and that's the first time they've worn them. And then that happens.
It's messed up. It was planned.
Kind of makes you think who's running everything, doesn't it?
Toe Mayor.
Boom, 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 boom.
And then it's time for Fortnite.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Safe travels.
Let's talk turkey.